everybody, this is Teensy Vintage and I am Teresa. Welcome. Today we are doing another art journal page. This time we are going to do a very crisp and clean geometric background. Don't worry, there will be plenty of stamping and stenciling and a little bit of mess making because it's me. But I just wanted to get completely outside the box and go in a different direction. So I got out my pencil and ruler and measured some lines, and now I'm putting down some very low tack tape. This is mint tape from scrapbook.com to serve as kind of a little bit of a guide, but also to keep the paint off of the sections I don't want the paint to be in. Just like when you paint your room at your house, you put up that blue tape. Well, this is same idea. I'm using different paints today, and here I am trying to decide which color I'm going to go with, and I end up going with the Diane Reevely paint, the Dylusions paint, and I don't remember the color. I think it's turquoise. Of course, all of the supplies will be listed in the description below. But I'm using a cosmetic sponge, and I cut off the old color that had dried, and I'm reusing it here. You can get at least 4 uses out of these things. Maybe more, depending on how you use it. But I'm using the sponge because it's going to give me a super smooth look. If I'd used a brush, it's quite possible you'd see the brush marks. And while that isn't the end of the world, I really wanted this to be very, very smooth. Here I'm trying it the opposite way. I just put the paint directly on the page and smooth that, but I go back to putting it on the glass mat and adding another coat as needed. This paint dries really quickly, and it's not a heavy body paint at all. It's pretty light and pretty easy to use. Easy to clean up too. Okay, so I'm very happy with that turquoise. I'm going to make sure that it's dry before I remove my tape. And just give it a good drying with the heat tool there. Look at that beautiful triangle. Those are some good looking lines. Okay, now I'm going to cover up what I just painted, because I want to protect it from the other coat of paint I'm going to use in the middle, which is going to be a yellow. So I started out with another Dylusions paint, Lemon Drop, which is a beautiful yellow, but frankly it was just too bright. It's almost neon. It just was too much. And I realized that once I kind of got halfway done putting it on there, I was like, oh boy, this is not the right yellow, which is okay. So I grabbed a different yellow. This one is a Dina Wakley Media Yellow. This is lemon, which, as you can see, is a darker color. And the Dina Wakley paints are a heavy body paint, so they're thicker. So this one easily covered up the Dylusions paint with no problem. Plus, yellow on yellow, you've got tone on tone. It's really not a big deal. So, crisis averted. Oh, I love how that turned out. It's beautiful. Nice bright colors, good contrast. I'm going to make sure that everything is really dry before I move forward. Okay, now I'm pulling out some Payne's Gray, and I'm going to use that through this stencil. The stencil is from AALL, and no, sorry, this stencil is from Simon Says Stamp. And I think it's called Geometric Arcs. We'll be using AALL and Create later. I think that's why I got confused. But I'm just going to put down some random stencils here just to get things going. When in doubt, just start painting. I'm also going to put some up here over the blue. Remember, we've got those 3 little girls that we're going to put on the yellow section. And now I'm just going to use some watered down paint to add a line over here. I just want to kind of give it a little bit of a border. I'm also touching up the corners just to give them a little bit of depth. And just to cover up a smidge of white space that I had there in the bottom part of that yellow triangle. All right, so this is a very nice base layer. Next, I'm going to make sure everything is dry before moving forward. I'm going to use some stamps, and I don't want to get any paint on my stamps. Okay, there's the AALL and Create. I also flipped through my stamp book there, but just didn't see anything else I wanted to use. So we're going to use this set. This is a small piece, and it is called, what are you called? Reckoner Digits. It's a lot of lines of numbers and some random dots. Really good stuff for making random backgrounds. And I'm using the Ranger Archival ink in jet black. Good permanent ink, doesn't react with water or other media. And then I've got a few Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous stamps. This is from the Ultimate Grunge kit. Some grungy polka dots and some super grungy numbers. And I am just going in here and adding where they feel good. Sometimes people might be like, how do you know where to put the stamp? I just put it where I think it needs to go. I don't know how else to describe that. I'm so sorry if that's confusing. I think after a while you just get a feel for things. Frankly, I get into the flow, which is kind of a state of being, and I just do what feels right. And that's kind of as articulate as I can be about that. All right, now here are our paper dolls. It's all the same little girl, but she's in 3 different sizes. I feel like I would have had an even better composition if I'd had one more doll. I know that's an even number, but I don't know. Something about these 3 dolls, I feel like there was one size missing, either between the 2 biggest girls or I needed one more doll at the very end, a little tiny doll. I don't know. But 3 is 3. 3 is good. I'm going to use some more Dylusions paint. This one's Strawberry Daiquiri. I picked this because it is a super bright pink. And I am giving a coat of this paint to the dolls here. I was trying to make them stand out. And I kind of like this result, and I kind of didn't. It looks grungy and cool. After I was finished, I kind of realized, oh boy, they kind of look like they're dripping in blood. Which was really not my intent at all. I just wanted to have these Victorian girls looking a little postmodern. I don't know. I feel like they came out okay. You know what? I made it work. And if people want to think they're covered in blood, okay, that's fine. You should think whatever you want to think about art. I'm not here to tell you how to interpret my art. You interpret it however you like. I've also got a tiny sentiment there that says be fearless, which is what I was trying to do with this whole dang piece. So basically, I'm drawing these girls now and make sure all this pink paint is dry and is not going to move around. It got a nice drippy effect with the brush. and a little bit of water. And since the dolls have a kind of a coating, a smooth coating, they didn't absorb the paint, which is good. So, all right, so now I'm going to fiddle with these dolls for a lot longer than I thought I would. But I don't know, I was having trouble getting them where I wanted them to be, where it looked right. Part of me thinks now maybe I should have added a little more solid color, like maybe a little more of the Payne's gray behind them. I even tried them a little diagonally. Didn't like that. Finally, I ended up deciding, you know what, just stick with the original plan. And we're going to use some art glitter glue here to adhere them to the page. And remember, that stuff dries really fast, so put it pretty close to where you want it to be, because once it's stuck, it's stuck. But yeah. There we go. I'm just making sure to give a little bit of pressure so that all of the glue adheres to all of the page that it's touching. There we go. Yeah. Looking at this now, the background is pretty wild. I mean, this is a loud piece, even for me. And I'm not sure where to put this little sentiment. Finally, I decide to stick it up there. And I'm going to get the glue stick out because some of the sticky was gone from the back. I find it's always a good idea to add some glue to your stickers just because sometimes that adhesive is not great. I used my Stabilo All pencil to give it some outline in black, and I'm going around it now with a tiny brush to activate that water. And there we go. Now, instead of using Stabilo All to give these young ladies something to sit on, because they're all in a seated position, I'm going to use my Faber-Castell pen, my PITT Artist PITT pen. Oh gosh, that's a mouthful. PITT Artist pen, PITT, and outline them a smidge and give them something to sit on. Hey, we're being fearless, y'all. Okay, that's the end of that. I really hope you enjoyed watching this. I enjoyed making it, and I will see y'all next time.